Rocket League is one of the wildest ideas ever turned into a video game. It's nearly like football, but with cars and a giant net. Honestly, it sounds like something a 6-year-old came up with while high on fruit juice. But somehow, it managed to work. Today, we're diving into the entire evolution of Rocket League. How it went from a weird PlayStation experiment that nobody liked or played, to a global esports monster with $1 million tournaments and players that sweat their entire lives in the game. And yes, of course we're gonna laugh at the shit name it started with. Before Rocket League, there was Supersonic Acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars. A name so atrocious, it made your school food look appetizing. Yes, this is real. Yes, I am not joking. It came out in 2008 on PlayStation 3, and honestly, it looked fun. You could flip cars, do some stunts, and hit a giant ball into a giant net. But it came with the graphics that looked like a PS2 launch title. The servers worked about as well as McDonald's ice cream machines. That's a new low. And no one wanted to say the name out loud. Its concept was fine, but the rest wasn't that good. So yeah, the game flopped, but it planted the seed. Psyonix knew the idea was genius. It just needed to be polished, renamed, and not sounded like a flipping lung disease. Fast forward to 2013, Psyonix is like, okay, guys, let's try again. But this time, let's actually make it fun for people. They cranked up the frame rate to 60 FPS, smoothed the physics, and gave a short, snappy name that summarized what it was, Rocket League. And here's the kicker. They did it all with a budget of under $2 million. What? They built an entire game from $2 million? That's flipping less than what Ronaldo spends on hair gel. But with pure determination, and maybe a few gallons of cocaine, they pulled it off. The breakthrough. Rocket League had one genius move. It was free on PlayStation Plus, which meant millions of people downloaded it instantly. Here's what happened. The servers got cooked, harder than the Roblox admin abuse wars right now. But that chaos created hype. Everyone was playing, streamers were streaming, YouTubers were making clips, and suddenly Rocket League wasn't just a game, it was content. And we all know that in 2015, content was so peak. What made Rocket League stand out is how fun it was to watch. Unlike other esports, you don't need a PhD in flipping game mechanics to understand it. Ball goes in goal, easy point, just like football. That made it perfect for Twitch, and it took off faster than iShowSpeed. Esports era. In 2016, Psyonix was like, alright, let's make this official. Enter RLCS, Rocket League Championship. The first season had a prize pool of $55,000, which sounds like a lot until you realize Fortnite gives out that much for people doing TikTok dances in the lobby. But it worked. Fans tuned in, players grinded, and the competitive scene started snowballing. By 2018, the prize pool was up to $1 million. By 2021, Rocket League had 6 different regions competing worldwide and prize pools in the multi-millions. Psyonix an epic game. Meanwhile, Psyonix was growing like crazy. 2015, they had around 30 employees. By 2019, they had over 130. Then Epic Games came along, looked at Rocket League, and said, yeah, we'll take that. So Epic bought Psyonix in 2019, which honestly was great for Rocket League. It meant bigger servers, more marketing, and eventually more Fortnite crossovers than anyone asked for. Like seriously, who asked for a llama topper? Cross-platform. In 2020, Rocket League went free to play, which meant 2 things. Millions of new players joined. Everyone and their pets now had a free Rocket League account sitting in their Epic's game launcher. At the same time, they added full cross-platform support. That meant PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Switch players could all play together, which is great, until you get demoed by a Mac player in their parents' basement. They also introduced rocket passes, item shops, and cosmetics so you could flex your money. Innovations and spin-offs. One thing Rocket League nailed was variety. They added Rumble, which introduced power-ups that allow you to literally kick people, Hoops, which is for people who think they can dunk, and Drop Shot, which is, well, it's still confusing, but hey, it looks cool. The game also became known for its collabs, Fast and Furious cars, Jurassic Park Jeeps, Batmobile. Basically, anyone made a car, Rocket League probably sold as a DLC. Then came spin-offs in 2021. We got Rocket League Sideswipe on mobile, 2D Rocket League you can play on the toilet, and in 2023, Rocket League invaded Fortnite with Rocket Races. But it was clear, it was inevitable. Every game. So conclusion. So what's the point here? Rocket League went from a game no one could pronounce to one of the most iconic esports of all time. It had rough beginnings, exploded in 2015, dominated esports, went free to play, and kept evolving with spin-offs and crossovers. Honestly, it's still one of the most fun, frustrating, and addictive games you can play. Seriously, nothing feels better than scoring a double-tap goal. And nothing feels worse than whiffing in front of an open net while your opponents spam nice shot in quick chat. As a wise man once said, "This is Rocket League!" Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all that stuff. And tell me in the comments, what's your worst Rocket League failure? I'll be reading them and laughing at your pain.
What kind of balls do you have?
That's what she said.